Hello everybody, this is an updated guide for my build in Legend of Mushroom as an archer. Now, somebody approached me after my last guide video and basically told me that I was wrong in so many aspects. And in fact, that is true, I was. So today I have an updated guide with the actual best build that you can possibly have as an archer, especially somebody that doesn't spend too much money in this game, right? So let's get into it. I'm gonna say it right away, we are running with the Plume Monarch. That's out of the way. So let's start off with the skills, right? There's gonna be two setups over here, one for bossing and another one for minions. The one for bossing is the one you can see right here. We have Smoke Bomb for the damage, we have 100 slashes for the damage, and then it's all about surviving, right? So we have the Blitz Assault over here for the immunity, and then we have the Dazzled and the Stunned. Now, the important thing about this whole thing is gonna be the delays, right? The delays are gonna be the following, right? So you can just go ahead and copy them for yourself. I'm gonna be scrolling them slowly and steadily, but the whole idea here is that you are going to be maximizing the effect of basically all your crowd control, right? So you're going to be using what you need whenever it's actually usable, right? Whenever you're actually going to get the max value out of it. Now, for the minion side of things, we are running with a setup that's going to be allowing us to survive a little bit more, right? So we do have the Clone Strike over here, which we do not have for the bossing side of things, as you can see. And then we also have the Thorns, I think it's called, which is going to be slowing down the enemies as well as doing quite some AoE damage. But most importantly, and you'll also see it once we get to the Pulse, it's going to be allowing us to buy some time, right? Once we do have those enemies actually approaching us a lot slower, we're going to be able to kill them much more in time before they actually do any damage to us. And there we go, we have a little bit of a delay right there again with the Blitz Assault, right? So you can copy those things for yourself. Pulse, we have the same thing, two setups, one for bossing and another one for the minions, right? So for bossing, we do have the following. We're running over here with the Sprite, of course, never gonna be able to get rid of those. We have the Treasure Dragon, the Banana, we have the Birdie over here for the attack speed, I think it is, and then we have the Deer, which is gonna be giving us some more damage reduction, right? So we have quite a speedy setup, which is gonna be getting us some crit rate from this, or I think it's some crit damage actually. There we go, it's 50% increased basic attack crit damage, there we go. And then we also have, of course, the combo from the Banana, and we have the Bird for ourselves there, which is going to be giving us quite some attack speed, right? So we value that a lot, and then if we're going to be getting hit by the boss, we do have the damage resistance over there, so we're taking a lot less damage from it. Now, for the setup of the minions, right? The minions is down here. It's going to be a setup which is going to be allowing us to straight up simply switch away some of the damage we're getting from the Banana to something that's going to be allowing us to survive for a little bit longer. We have the Snail right here, which is we switch into it, you're going to see that it reduces the enemy movement speed by 40%. Put that together with the Thorns, and the enemies are coming towards you a lot slower. So you have a lot more time to kill all the minions before they actually do any damage to you. Now, one very important thing is that if I did have the, what is it called? Let's just get out of here. If we actually had the bunny, we would actually be running that in both the builds, right? And when I say the bunny, I mean this one over here, which is going to be giving us a chance to launch as well as a little bit of crit rate, right? So this is also pretty much perfect for archers. I don't have it because you actually need to buy it and participate in events which are actually pay to win. Of course, you need to put some money into the game, but I would be putting it in my minions build in the place, I think it is of the Deer, and in my bossing build, I would be putting it in the place of the Banana, right? So that's what I would do. I would be switching those away for the bunny if I could. Freeze! Download Legend of Mushroom through Aptoide right now and enjoy bonuses of up to 35%. As you accumulate these bonuses, you'll be able to use them to buy things for you instead of actually using your real money like we are showing right here. All you need to do is go to Google and search for Aptoide, click on the first link that appears and download it. As you download Aptoide, it will install in your device. Once it is installed, go ahead and search for it in your device, and then within it, go ahead and search for Legend of Mushroom. Go ahead and click on Legend of Mushroom within Aptoide and download it and install it in your device. Then head on over to Google Play and search for Upcoins Wallet and download it and open it up. Once you have it installed, here you will be able to see how much bonus you currently have unlocked, as well as input my promo code Midway, which is going to be increasing the bonus you are getting when buying things in Legend of Mushroom by 5% forever. As well as here, you're also going to be able to see your purchase history. There is a guide down in the description, and the code is also down here on the screen as well as in the description, so go ahead and get it now and start earning more value for your money. The stats is really simple. It's all straight up just going to be global combo damage everywhere as the highest tier you can possibly have, or the highest percentage you can possibly have. I did try the global attack one, and I was also told that it's not better. no matter what you do here, there's never anything better for archers that is not just all full global combo, so don't go for anything else. Stats that are extremely simple as well. You want to have at least 75% crit rate and over 85% combo, right? Those are the minimums. If you got anywhere under that, you need to be switching away some stats on your gear so you actually get those, right? So crit rate and combo first and foremost, and anything that is not crit rate or combo, if you get a piece with like, I don't know, crit rate and evasion, or crit rate and regeneration, combo evasion, combo regeneration, something like that, it's all right. Ideally, you want crit rate and combo on literally every single talents. This is where things get a little bit interesting. It's always worth to go for all those stat sticks, right? Like increase the defense, increased HP, increased attack. It's worth getting them to at least, I don't know, between 10 and 15. What I've done is get the notes that I really think are worth it to level 10. And after I've pretty much like capped every single one of the nodes that I think it's straight up worth it for an archer, I just went for the archery, and I am now aiming to get the Gale Barrage, right? I'm working my way to it. I got level 7 over here, level 7 over here, and I'm just going to be getting to the point where eventually I can get it, right? But that is actually pretty advanced. Before you get there, it's well worth to just go through every single one of the trees and try and get a little bit of whatever is actually worth, right? So for example, some proc crit damage, not worth whatsoever. I went for the base defense instead first. I went for regeneration, healing when doing attacks or stuff like that. It's always worth, right? So for example, a little bit of evasion, I get that. A little bit of his attack, I get that. In the sorcery tree, I go for crit rest bonus, I might as well get it. It's cheap, right? So I'm gonna be getting the cheap stuff first. Base attack increase, I'm getting some active skill regen speed, why not? It's cheap. I'm not going for whatever else. Ignore evasion, right? It's not cheap. I need to be putting some more points elsewhere in order to be able to access this, so I don't really care about that. Actually, I can already access it, but whatever. I'm not gonna be wasting my points on that. I could potentially do so, but I'm not. Restore HP whenever a skill is used, why not? It's pretty cheap. I'm gonna be getting it. Base defense, same thing. Skill damage, same thing. I got this to max level because they're well worth it, and they're actually pretty cheap. Archery, again, I'm getting the stuff that's definitely worth it, just to make sure that I'm getting to the point where I'm actually unlocking the Gale Barrage, because it's extremely powerful. And then on the Fury side of things, I am pretty much doing the same. I am leveling up the main nodes, and then I'm getting whatever I think it's worth it. Some base defense over here, some healing amount over there as well. The healing is actually going to be making a huge difference, by the way, just in surviving. And then over here, some crit rest bonus, always nice. Some healing, by the way. And then finally, whatever ignore combo, whatever. That defensive stuff, I'll eventually work my way to it. But for now, I am finally prioritizing getting myself to this point. If you're a newer player and don't have as many skill points as I do, you'd rather go ahead and spread those skills points between, especially the main stat ones over there, so you're gonna able to increase the whole stat stick setup of your character. Now over here on the upgrading the back accessory, I would potentially focus mainly on upgrading the attack one and then the HP one. The defense one, not so important. You could like leave this one go lower a little bit for a little while. You kind of want to be leveling all the things up at the same time, but focus especially on the attack one. And once that you are kind of equalizing them all to a point where, you know, there's like breakpoints where things like scale up a lot more, so you get a lot more of this base percentage. At that point, it's going to be a little bit more complicated than that, but simply focus on the attack and the HP one, and don't really care too much about defense in this game. Defense percentage is not that powerful. HP is a lot more important in Legend of Mushroom than the defense is. So if you can go for defense, or rather HP rather than defense, always do that and mainly go for attack. Souls. After discussing my soul setup with this person that approached me, and we talked about it quite a little bit, I ended up switching away where my soul points actually went. So this is what I ended up with. I focused a lot on getting my crit damage bonus really scaled up. Crit damage bonus is actually going to be so important, right? You want to be scaling that crit damage as much as possible. You're kind of aiming to eventually crit at 100% rate. So if you're able to do so, the crit damage is going to be taking you a lot further than scaling other avenues of the game, right? So we do have the combo damage as well over here, really damn important. The boss damage is of course also scaled up, but we put a lot of points on the crit damage bonus, which we didn't have done that before. Then we also have a lot here on the global attack as well as the healing rate. Again, the healing rate, I undervalued it a lot, but it's actually well worth it, and the global attack is always worth increasing. And finally, we went for the HP and HP regen bonus. This node is actually insane as well. HP a lot better than defense, right? That's why I took so many points away from the defense, even though we also have some boss damage resistance. We don't really care that much about defense. We'd rather go for HP wherever we can. And the HP regen bonus is also going to be nuts. We are kind of ignoring here the basic attack damage. It's not worth it scaling it up before the crit damage, so always go for that instead. until like this is gonna be ridiculous to level up, but anyways. And then we are also kind of ignoring here the crit vest bonus, as well as of course the counter damage, because we don't really get anything out of this one. Relics, this is literally the only setup that you want to be ever seeing. You can switch around your mask here from the crit rate between the crit rate and the combo one, either if you have like a lot of one stat and not that much of the other. Otherwise, that one's set and done. You're always going to be running the potent spore here to increase the effect of all your relics. You're 100% always going to be using the time statue over here for increased duration on Disarmed, Dazzled, and Smoke Bomb, or using all three of those skills, right? So this is literally perfect. Then we're going to be running over here with the immunity book for bossing and the flame book for PvP. That's literally it. You're going to be wanting to go with the thunder color kite over here. It's the best one there is. And then you're going to be going for the magic box. If you're following the PAL list that I told you about, you're going to be able to get over here quite the benefit out of using the deer. Otherwise, if you don't have the deer in your setup, you might be wanting to switch to something else, depending on what you are running. But definitely, if you want to be running the deer, I would recommend doing so, right? So go ahead and run the magic box. And finally, we also have a storm necklace over here, so we get a little bit more of an extra benefit of running that clone strike once we are using him, actually. Otherwise, everything else you're getting here is not really going to be giving you much benefit. The blitz assault over here would be a little bit of an upgrade as well. So if we are not running currently, actually, I would potentially be switching to the spirit necklace right now, because I'm not using my clone strike at the moment in the current setup that I do have. So this would actually be what I would use, and instead, if I'm using the clone strike, I would then be using the storm necklace. For avians, the best one there is right here is going to be the midnight firefly. No matter what, you want to be having this guy for PvE in particular. You're gonna be able to get quite some decent bonuses on this guy on the affixes here. You can go for something like against the strong, it's a very good one. The rage bonus is also pretty damn good. Super crowd combo is pretty good as well. Super attack is also decent. Enhanced attack and shroom combo are also pretty nice. Against the strong, if you can get that one, also is going to be insane. But this is a setup that would already be taking you quite far. All three of these affixes are good for archers. But yeah, always go ahead and use the midnight firefly. For PvP in particular, Sunshine Bringer is going to give you quite the upper hand in a very particular case, because it's going to be reducing the duration of crowd control received by 15% for 5 seconds at the start of the battle, right? What's going to happen here is that if you both start by using the stuns onto each other in a PvP battle, this is going to be allowing you to come out of the stun before your enemy. So in many cases, that's really going to be enough to actually win the battle. Of course, if the stat disparity is massive, you're going to still get one shot. But anyways, that kind of gives you quite the upper hand in most PvP battles, so it's a very good option for PvP. For the Star Arrow, we have 3 setups over here for PvP, for bossing, and for minions, right? So starting off with bossing, we're going to be looking to get a lot of stats right away, right? That's why we are running with this guy over here, who's going to be giving us some attack speed right away, which is going to be decaying as the battle goes on. Then we'll also get a little bit of increased crit rate from this other one, and then we'll finally also get some increased skill damage, right? Passive skills increase damage to bosses by doing, straight up just using your passive skill is going to be doing quite a little bit of extra damage to the boss. Then for minions, we have a setup that's going to be allowing us to do a little bit more AoE damage, so we are able to clear them just a little bit easier. So we have a little bit of AoE right there, and then we're going to be dealing a little bit of extra crit damage. What is it? And every crit hit within 5 seconds is going to be dealing damage equal to the target's current HP. So we get it for the AoE damage and just bursting down all the other guys. Then we're going to be getting an extra shield over here, so we survive all those hits from the minions, and then we also have a little bit of speed, right? So it's a little bit of a mix back here. It's kind of whatever, honestly. I don't think it's much difference here between the bossing one, although the bossing one you kind of want to be nuking it. That's why we are running with the main one, which is going to be giving us quite a big boost of stats early on, and then it's going to be decaying. And anyways, for PvP, we are instead running with something that's going to be a lot more consistent, which is the Genie, which is going to give us a bit of attack as well as defense until the battle ends, right? So that's like increased stats literally forever throughout the entire battle. Then we get a little bit of defense over here from this one whenever releasing the main passive skill until the battle ends, right? So it's going to be lasting forever. And then this one, once you are dropping below 50%, the first time you release the main passive skill, you're going to be getting a big bunch of attack speed, right? So yeah, quite a good setup over here. This is what I use in all those 3 scenarios. For my awakening, I did reassign a lot of the scrolls that I was using, right? So instead of like spreading them all out a lot more evenly, I did focus mainly on the global attack as well as the HP, as we already mentioned. Those are the 2 main stats you want to be increasing. Then we also got a little bit of crit damage bonus, as crit damage once again is going to be a lot more worth scaling than stuff like just flat basic attack and combo damage and stuff like that. If you can scale up that crit rate once you do get to high crit rate points, it's going to be so much more damage than just flat stats like basic attack damage and combo damage. This one over here not to be neglected, but we would rather put a lot of points into the crit damage bonus, flat, straight up global attack, straight up global HP. Then we are totally not going for the crit rest bonus, at least not just now, and we are also kind of like neglecting the global defense a little bit more. So the focus shifted to just like, instead of spreading things out, we are focusing more on those three things, which are a lot more impactful to our character. Divining, the whole new system that we have in the game, it's actually decently new, and it's not that easy to know what to go for, because you're first of all gonna have to progress through it and unlock all the nodes and stuff. But we are going to be prioritizing 4 things over here, and that's what I'm gonna have here on the actual auto intercept function, which is just a filter. We're gonna go for crit rate, combo, global attack, and global HP. We've already talked plenty about these. Those are the only 4 things we care about. But first of all, and I'm still doing it myself, is just to unlock all the nodes. Make sure you are getting all the different things you can get out of this, like all the sensing nodes. Until you don't have them all, there's no point in focusing on rerolling things and like locking stuff into other stuff and stuff like that, right? So just focus on unlocking everything, and along the way, try to set up those filters so you get the good stuff. The best PvE mount there is going to be the Cloud Drifter, of course, free to play mounts we're talking about over here. And then for PvP in particular, the best free mount is going to be the Ox, right? And now the Ox you do need to be getting from the, what is it, this event that comes around every 2 weekends. It's decently easy to just save up a lot of coins and eventually be able to guarantee yourself to buy the Ox mount, right? So it's over here. It's going to be giving you quite a big boost in PvP in particular, right? So moving on to the artifacts. The only real artifact you can use here onto the morphine side of things is going to be the one that's free, literally. So the Thunder Wrath, if you can get it for free from that same event, which I forgot the name of, it's going to be coming every 2 weekends anyways. You can get it for free, so go ahead and get it. It's actually pretty decent, and then it's literally the only one that's free. Now, into the side of artifact enchantments. Instead of going for the setup that I have right here, which is going to give you the 4-piece of the global combo, and then we are also running with the 2-piece of the global basic attack, we are wanting to go instead for the 4-piece that's going to be giving us the global crit damage, right? So there is that other one that I am right now leveling up. It's a little bit costly, right? It's not something that I can switch right away, but it's going to be this one. Global crit damage increased by 10%. I'm going to be going for this one, focusing on getting the global combo damage always leveled up on every single one of those, and I am actually really trying to block like upgrading anything else, right? So I am using all the resources we have over here with all those potions and stuff like that, so that we can actually guarantee that every time we are upgrading this, we are always getting the upgrades onto the global combo damage, and just making sure that we are using the 2-piece here for the actual global combo damage increase, and then the 4-piece for the global crit damage. That is literally it. Just go for upgrading the combo, global combo, and this one is actually pretty bad. I'm going to be re-rolling this one, and then getting those 4 pieces and 2 pieces set up. For like other stats that you can get onto your artifact enchantment stuff, like all these things, you want to be getting stuff that's going to be like launch, stun, I don't know if it's evasion right here. Ignore evasion would be okay. Basic attack damage, crit damage. I don't know. I actually don't think there's any crit damage scaling on any of these things. So stuff that is going to be offensive, right? It's going to be giving you some breathing room, some stun, some launch is insane, actually very powerful. And then mainly go for boss damage, global combo damage, and basic attack damage. One thing that I didn't mention until now, it's the tech research, and that is because it's just a grind. You want to be getting literally everything right. Now, if you were like a new player and just getting down through it, I would prioritize getting stats that are meaningful, so base HP and base attack mainly, but literally as you are progressing through this thing, you're gonna need to upgrade everything until you get to this point where it's only main flat stats you can actually be upgrading, right? So once you do get to this point where you can choose between upgrading your defense, your HP, and your attack, focus on the attack first and then the HP. The defense could be following third, not that far, but also, yeah, not as important, and the attack and the SESP. And that is basically the entire build, guys. Any questions, drop it down below in the comment section. If you want to be putting out any inputs on this build, any corrections or any whatevers, go ahead and comment down below again. Check out Aptoide if you haven't done so yet, and I'll see you on the next video. Like, subscribe, and that's it. Bye-bye. See ya, guys.